Do you guys have any scary stories? Because I have one. You probably saw it from the title, and this story will forever be engraved in my head. Now, look, I'm on the internet, right? I tell stories, I make videos, and I have a whole plushie, which you can get for $20 now. I'm forever grateful for my platform, and if I was ever going to be followed, you'd think it'd probably be by a fan. Somebody who would recognize me from the videos, or even my mom with the chancla. But nope, this was scarier. Because the person following me wasn't someone I knew. It wasn't even someone who knew me. It was a random crazy guy in a pickup truck. Homie even had tinted windows. And when I tell you my heart dropped, bro, grab a snack. Because this is one that you're gonna wanna hear. This happened about 6 years ago. I was 17, almost 18, and I finally got my license. I was a little late to the party because my mom was too afraid to let me drive for a while. And you can't blame her at all, especially after this fiasco. But anyways, yeah, I would be freshly licensed to hit the streets on my own. And when you get your license, that is a different type of feeling. You basically unlock this new level of freedom. Like that first month, you're gonna find any reason to hit the road. Need gum? Road trip. Mailbox? Adventure. If I could've, I would've found a way to drive up to my room. And for this case, this story I'm about to tell you guys was a McDonald's run late at night. I called up my friend Anthony, and he was down to come along for the ride. Shout out to him, the OG pilot of chaos. We would blast music, sing songs, and for absolutely no reason, we decided to drive 20 minutes for food. Not the closest McDonald's, not the most convenient one far enough to feel like an epic journey. That's how hyped we were. And it was late at night, so the roads were pretty empty. And if you know, you know, late drives hit. I'm behind the wheel like I'm Vin Diesel, freaking revving up my mom's Toyota. Anthony's in the passenger seat, hyping up the playlist. It was the kind of night where you feel grown, but you're still two kids with too much energy and too little sense. So after our 20-minute epic quest, we finally pull up to the McDonald's. We order and then get our food. I'm hitting bag after bag to Anthony. That's a co-pilot duty, holding all the fast food bags. And we went all out. He's clutching those bags like it's the holy grail. Let's go! And we eat in the car talking about random things. So, do you think you'll ever find Randy and get your $8 back? Don't remind me. Deep late night fast food talks. And after we finished our food, it was time to head home. Now remember, I drove 20 minutes out of town, and this McDonald's was in a very rural, suburban-y area. Rural? I wasn't too familiar with the roads, and it was starting to rain. And I was driving for a good 5 minutes on tight roads leaving the McDonald's. And after twisting and turning for a bit, it was finally time to get on the main road. But when I got on, I was going at the same speed that I was driving when I left the McDonald's. Like 25 miles an hour. I didn't see these new speed limit signs. And the ones on the main road said 45 miles an hour. If you follow common sense, I had to speed it up. But my freshly licensed self did not know that. I'm going 25 miles an hour on a road that is 45 miles an hour. Freaking grandma speed. Yeah. And it wasn't so long until a car caught up with me. I look at my rearview mirror, and behind me was a car zooming and coming in hot. He gets extremely close, and homie has to hit his brakes to avoid a collision with me. That's how slow I was going. But hey, in my defense, he was speeding too. It wasn't just my fault. And he's right behind me now. And when I look at my rearview mirror, that's when I make it out to be this pickup truck. A black one with tinted windows. I feel like those pickup trucks feel like they run the streets. He keeps on honking at me and flashes his lights on me. And that's when I freak out and pick up the pace. Oh, my bad. I start going 45 miles an hour, the correct speed limit after seeing the signs, and also this pickup truck breathing down my neck. Anthony then turns around to see the pickup truck too. Is he good? I'm trying to play it cool. Yeah, I feel I was going too slow. But deep inside, I was really panicking. Because he was still directly behind me and flashing his lights and honking his horn, tailgating me to the max. Bro, go around. And instead, I then go a little faster. But he goes a little faster. What's his problem, huh? I then go even faster. And you guessed it, he goes just as fast to stay directly behind me. And homie's still honking. Man, let me just get off the road. I turn right onto a residential street. You know, give Mr. Tinted Windows the main road all to himself. But guess who ends up turning right with me? Mr. Tinted Windows. goes. And he's still honking and flashing his lights at me. That's weird. Maybe he was going the same way. Maybe he lived on that street. Leave me alone, bro. So I turn right again. There's no way he would turn again. But half a second later, there he is behind me in flashing lights and honking glory. Bro, come on. I then turn right again to lose the fool. 3 rights. Alright, there's no way he'd be behind me now. But there he is, kissing my car's rear end. Now at this point, I'm not gonna lie, my stomach dropped. Because I remembered this trick people would say. If you think someone's following you, make 4 right turns. And if they're still there, congratulations, you got yourself a shadow. It makes sense. No normal person behind you is going to drive in a square the same way that you did and make 4 rights. Unless they're following you. So I decided to test my luck. I made one final right turn. This turn would make me drive around in a square. And I would also end up back on the main road. And when I did that turn, guess who tonight's biggest loser was? Haha, yeah boy. Cause freaking tinted windows is still right behind me. And I knew I was on the chopping block. That's when I realized I was being followed. What do we do? Me and Anthony were freaking out. And it was intense because we even turned down the music as if lowering the volume was gonna make the car behind us disappear. We didn't try to lighten the mood and make jokes about the situation. Let's ask if he wants fries. If you die, can I have your Nintendo Switch? What? Nothing. I'm gripping the wheel tight. Tighter than a Karen holding her faith finding a manager who actually cares about her. And I'm still in denial. Nah, maybe he just lives around here. Maybe this is just his route. And I didn't realize in the moment, but I end up speeding. I'm going almost 70 in a 45-mile-per-hour limit, and homie is still glued to us. 10 minutes pass, and he doesn't budge. I try to lose him on off-roads, speeding, cutting in front of other cars, and he's still there. That's not road rage, that's a relationship. Maybe if we pull into McDonald's again and buy him some fries, he'll chill out. What? I'm trying to stay alive. And at this point, I'm fully convinced this guy is not going anywhere. It's late, it's raining, I barely know these roads. And to add to this intense freakout, if it wasn't bad enough, I suddenly noticed the gas light. That little orange light of doom. The gas light turned on my dashboard. The tank is about to hit E. We're about to get stranded. Out of all nights? My car decided it wanted a midnight snack too, and Anthony sees it and starts panicking harder. Bro, what happens if the car shuts off? I'm running to the bushes. Every turn now feels like a countdown. Cause if this car dies, it's over. I'm imagining the news headlines already. 2 teens lured into danger in a McDonald's run. Victim last seen with the McChicken in hand. The gas needle is basically kissing the E. And this guy is still glued to my bumper. We need to make a move. Either we lose him now, or I'm about to be stranded with Mr. Tinted Windows in the middle of nowhere. So I make one last move. This was life or death. I swerve off onto another side road and cut sharp like Fast and Furious. For family! And finally, nothing. I look in my rearview mirror and the truck is gone. And why out of nowhere, you may ask? Cause I ended up turning into a street with a police station right on the side. And I guess the truck just said, screw that, peace. He vanished into the rain. And the relief that hit me, man, never in my life have I ever been more happy to be alone in the rain and dark. And me and Anthony just sit there in silence for like 10 seconds. Should we tell the cops? Man, I don't even want to tell my mom. And now here I am telling the world. Bro, if you ever call me for a McDonald's run again, I'm charging for emotional trauma. We filled up the tank at a nearby gas station and dipped. I never went back to that McDonald's ever again. Screw that part of town. So remember, if you feel like someone's ever following you, make 4 right turns. I wouldn't have been surprised if the guy in the pickup truck was Grimace or something. Clink! Clink, clink, clink! Yes, sir. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please let me know in the comments what other story times you want to hear. Also, please get your merch online too at horchatasoto.com. Hats, t-shirts, hoodies, and plushies. There's a huge sale going on right now too. And make sure to subscribe and like the video. Take this as a PSA to please be careful when you drive late at night. I sounded like an unk with that one. But anyways, I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!